So a lot of people are saying that this was the most multicultural St. Patrick's Day ever. So let's see what's going on. Look at that crowd. They're all like, what the hell's this? Well, this is your country now, Ireland. Look, if you want to go and celebrate your culture, then whatever. But don't do it at a St. Patrick's Day parade. Come on, it's St. Patrick's Day. Celebrate Ireland. That's what the whole day is about. Oh, whatever this is. To all my Irish viewers out there, which I doubt I have any, but if I do, you've got some shit to figure out. Okay, after that last video, we gotta watch something that actually is Irish. So let's watch this one. When I think of Ireland, this is what I think about. Not whatever that last parade was. I don't know what that was all about, but this is Ireland. We need some more of that back in Ireland.
Give me my passport and my paper. I am an asylum seeker in Ireland. I've been here 3 years. I've been dragging my case for years, not answering me, putting me in direct provision to continue to endure the inhumane system. 8 women in a room that a family of 2 can stay in. 8 women sharing a bathroom. That is not justice. That is not.
Look, nobody asks you to come over, so don't come over and then complain about the conditions you're in. You kind of get what you get here.
Protection. It isn't. I can't stay 8 women in a room, no autonomy, no privacy, and I'm just to be sandwiched in that room. And you tell me to be quiet? I can't.
Look, I just can't stand these people. They come into the country and then they expect you to give them everything. No, you came to this country, or rather Ireland, and you just get what you get. Look, you can't complain. They already allowed you in. They already gave you a place to stay. Don't complain about that place.
I've been working here, I've been volunteering, and what does the minister of the country do? They sandwich people in a direct provision. They tell you, after working for 6 years, go back to your country, we don't need you anymore. I thought she was only here for 3 years. How is that fair? We didn't choose to be here. We came here for safety.
Okay, so you came there for safety, so you choose to go there, right?
Now they want to force social benefits down our throats. We don't want your money. We're working. We're not asking you for your houses. I'm ready to rent.
Oh, she's ready to rent after 3 or 6 years, however many she's been here. She's be confused on that point as well.
These people, you don't care about them. They work here, they pay taxes, they endure the inhumane treatment, and you leave them to die. What kind of country does that? What kind of country protecting asylum seekers does that? How do you report children being deported from school in school uniform? The humiliation. It goes being quiet. And when you go to their offices, they say, no, we can't do anything. We will give you houses. Give your houses! We don't want it! We don't want your money! I have money to give you! Compare! How can you
I'm kind of confused what she wants. She's saying that she wants a better house to live in so she doesn't have to share the room with 6 ladies, but she just says that she doesn't want the houses, so I'm confused. What does she want?
Your money, and you don't say anything because it is your last resort. The minister is silent. This man will work years, 6 years, 7 years, volunteering. I don't see anybody volunteering other than asylum seekers. I don't see you visiting the hospitals and nursing homes. I don't see you just cleaning. I don't see you in the cleaning agency. I don't see you visiting teaching schools. Someone out and say this on the strikers. If you have any humanity in you, any conscience oil, keep your housing, keep your benefits. We don't want it.
Okay, I don't know what she wants, but look, she's obviously unhappy, so go back to whatever shithole country you came from. I think that's the best solution for everybody.
Someone said the run up to St. Paddy's Day is the only time these days that you see an Irish flag displayed, and it's not like a display of hate for someone else's.
Wait, so displaying the Irish flag in Ireland is some kind of hate symbol to this lady? Look, if you don't like the Irish flag, then get out of Ireland. It's not the Irish people's fault that you take offense to their flag. Get out of Ireland.
Nationality or religion, etc. And I was kind of like, so obviously St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and as teachers we've been looking into the history of St. Patrick as the patron saint of Ireland, and a lot of interesting things came up that I thought really showed irony about like the situation in Ireland today with racism, etc. Number one, St. Patrick was from Wales. He was born in Wales, grew up in Wales, and he only came to Ireland for a specific mission. And number two, he was someone who came with his own ideas, and he wanted to bring something new to Ireland, which was Catholicism.
Okay, so no one is trying to Islamify Ireland. It's a far-right fear-mongering. Islam isn't new to Ireland. Look, she just barely said, that she thinks the Irish flag is racist and she hates it. So I can't believe she can tell me with a straight face that no one is trying to Islamify Ireland when she just said that she doesn't like the flag. Obviously, she's trying to get rid of some amount of Ireland in Ireland, or else she would embrace the flag and be completely okay with it.
Because at the time, Ireland was a pagan country, and he come with his own like religious ideas. When we're looking at the climate today, I think it's really ironic because we have big issues with immigrants, and then the idea of like being Irish is that you have to be ethnically Irish. You can't be your nationality can't be Irish, even if you speak the language, even if you have the Irish accent, even if your behaviors and mannerisms are Irish, unless you're ethnically Irish, you can't be Irish. Whereas here, St. Patrick's, a man that is from Wales that came to Ireland after mid-20s in his life. And then finally, this idea that immigrants have to integrate and they have to take up every single thing of the Irish culture. And even then, you're not considered Irish.
Yeah.
But here's a man that was, he loved Wales, and he brought his idea of Catholicism to Ireland as a new idea.
Okay, so she's obviously trying to tie St. Patrick's bringing Christianity to Ireland as the same as Muslims bringing Islam to Ireland. That's completely not the same thing, and I'll tell you why. So when St. Patrick came over to Ireland, he brought over Catholicism, and the people of Ireland embraced it themselves. They decided that they liked Christianity, and they brought it into their country and embraced it. That's not happening now. What's happening now is the government, the Irish government, is letting a bunch of Muslims into their country, and they are basically forcing the culture to change. The Irish people are not wanting this. They are not wanting to bring on this different culture. They like their culture. They want to keep their culture. So it is not the same because they are being forced to take on this new culture. So, something that I read, it was, I don't know, a day or two ago. Anyway, I read that 27% of the Irish population are actually foreign-born people. I mean, it's clear that there is some kind of plan to bring in a bunch of foreign-born people into Ireland and change the culture.
Everyone took to it. I don't know, just some food for thought.
Well, that was a bunch of nonsense, but, what do you expect?
We want to highlight that not all teachers are actually racist. Some teachers actually do not understand that other children may have a different language being spoken to them at home and may have a different culture compared to the white Irish students. Meaning that a lot of children in Irish primary schools are not proficient enough in English to really explain themselves to the teacher and explain what's going on to them. A lot of children have different cultures at home. Something that may not be the norm in Irish culture may be the norm in their culture.
So I have an idea. How about you assimilate to Ireland if you move to Ireland? Seems like that would solve a lot of problems.
And they are still learning. I think it's important to highlight that even though the ethnic child may be easier to blame in certain situations, that is not normal and it's not very nice either. And it really does decrease the self-esteem of ethnic children going to Irish primary school.
I honestly don't care. So we have the same problem in the United States, although it's usually from South America. So in our schools, the public schools are already strained for resources, and it's a big joke saying that public schools are bad. Anyway, the problem is, or a big problem now, is that we have a bunch of immigrants that came here, had kids, and now those kids are going to school. Now the problem is those kids were never taught English because the parents never assimilated. So the parents don't know English. So these kids that don't know English go to school and they can't keep up with the class because they have no idea what's being said. So the entire class is held back for these students so that they can learn English. And that is just not fair. It is not fair to the kids of our own country that they have to all be held back because somebody doesn't know English. If you don't know English, you shouldn't be going to school. You should be going to some other school that teaches English. We should not have our kids being held back because somebody else's kids can't speak the language that our country speaks. Plain and simple. Hey, so if you like the video, please like, subscribe, share, comment, all that other stuff. And I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.